Welcome to the home of the Clemson Tigers, Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Clemson Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. Auburn will kick it off to get things started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 9. So Clemson's offense takes the field for the first time today. Single back formation, and they give it to him. Got room at the 35. Flying down the left side. The 20. Touchdown, Tiger. He got it loose, and it was lights out after that.
Yeah, these offensive coordinators tell you they want to start fast and they want to establish the run game. That is exactly what you did. First drive, you hand the football off, making the big explosive run, setting the tone for this football game.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Auburn's offense will get the ball for the first time. They are going to be greeted rather rudely, I guess, by a group of defensive linemen that wreak havoc and hunt down quarterbacks, Jesse.
And they wreck games. They take away everything you do offensively. So it's a huge challenge in this one, David, for this offensive coordinator to try to call plays and find ways to get the football away from these big fellas up front because they take games over.
And get the ball out quick. Like when you've got a defensive line that can penetrate, they can get TFLs, get sacks. It's going to be on this offensive line to buy a little bit of time, but also the ball to come out quick, win in the secondary right now.
Wants to throw. It's Hatchett. Firing to the right, complete. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, what a great job by the defense, seeing the bubble, reacting to it right now. And what do you got to do? You got to make open field tackles when that bubble gets there. Nice job by the defense.
Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Not quite in rhythm there, incomplete. In a competitive conference like the SEC, you just can't afford to start 0-1 if you want to chase a championship. Really important to get off to a good start.
No doubt, in the SEC, you've got to set the tone early. It's all about creating momentum out of the gate. Both of these teams had this game circled all offseason, David. They know what's riding on the line.
There's so much riding on the line. Who gets to Atlanta down the road? Bragging rights, recruiting rights, all this stuff. Once you get in conference play, it means a lot every single week.
Clemson has their paws on it. They'll send out the offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go? Back to pass. Pressure coming. Oh, and it's a pick. He threw it right into the double coverage. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
He'll do it himself. And a nice, solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
Yeah, and how about the QB? Calls his own number and all these options, obviously multiple plays. He decides to stick with it, get some positive yards, and now what's next off of that? What's my next read off of that? How am I going to mix things up and keep this defense off balance?
Running to Green. Shows him the stiff arm. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work. Inside the 15, first and 10 from the 14. To the ground, he's got it again. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
These third downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it, you practice it. This offense needs to be dialed in, needs to be in rhythm, and needs to execute on this third down.
Under fire. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
And this has been a struggle for this offense, protecting their quarterback. It's priorities mission number one, right? Every single game we go into last week, I think a lot of the reason they lost was because they gave up so many sacks and hits on their quarterback.
Not very pretty, highly effective using that carom off the left upright. That'll bring him to within 4.
And this guy has been a machine all season long. He is absolutely automatic. You know you're getting 3 points when this guy jogs on the field.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Off to a good start here and back to work now with a 7-3 lead. The give to the single back. And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves them with second and short. Sends it back in motion. Looking to fire. Snares it outside. It's Morris.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. Looking to throw on first down. A strike downfield. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line. This has been a staple of the offense at Clemson. Get those big receivers, let them make plays downfield, and it's been very effective over the years.
Yeah, and good quarterback play obviously helps, but when you got good matchups on the outside, it kind of makes the defense very predictable. Like, I got to give help. Okay, it helps my running game. You don't give help. Okay, I'm throwing to my freak out wide. So I think these guys on the outside with all that speed definitely are a problem for defenses.
On the run, it's Morse. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line? Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Now the play fake. Now improvising. He's got an open man. Touchdown, Tigers. A great catch and run for 6.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the time to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They might be feeling a little heat here as they've fallen into a 14-3 hole early. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. Man, he is hard to wrap up as he gets it to the 32-yard line.
In college football, you see this a ton now. You use a quick passing game, basically as the running game. Get a few yards, get your offense ahead of the sticks, keeps it on pace for success.
The RPO, fire complete to the left. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical, they're too fast, and they force a negative play.
Beneath the shadow of Howard's Rock, Death Valley is rocking, trying to help the Tigers on 3rd down. He makes the grab. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls.
Breaks into the open. Boy, did he look as if he was going to go. Gets it down to the 37. Auburn to the line in a hurry.
And I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a 1st down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
Powers through the defender. Tackled at the 31. They'll give him 6 on the play.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
He's got it on the right. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys, but that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they've knocked him down at the 17. And the Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Looking to throw, it's Hatchett. Oh, they're after him! And the quarterback goes down. There is a penalty flag on the field, but I think the defense might have the option just to take this play. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And they'll send out the field goal unit. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. And he kept that one just straight enough to graze inside the left upright. That'll make it a 1-possession game. The lead is 8. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Already with 2 touchdowns on the board, now they're back at it up 14-6. They'll start this drive going to the air. Quickly to the tight end. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They came out humming on this drive, and now it's first down from the 36. Here's the handoff. Fighting off the defender. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up second and short.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. First play of the period will be a second down. He'll run it again. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. There's an idea that Clemson can only run the ball when they sort of trick you and get you in space, but they're showing a lot of versatility now.
Yeah, I think the word you were looking for was finesse. They've been a finesse offense, more about tempo and body blows than it is about, being physical up front. But if this unit does get that physicality and get that ground game and a good offensive line, I think that's when you see the best of the Clemson Tigers.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Wants to go up top. Got his man downfield. He's got it out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 6-yard line, and this defense has to be reeling.
And that's the beauty of this offense and this playmaker at wide receiver. Throw the ball short, but what he does after the catch, he's just got so much speed, so dynamic with the football, and this is why they get it to him short, because he can take it to the house or make a big play on any reception.
And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
That's a phenomenal job getting after the quarterback and getting a hit on him to affect his accuracy, because if they didn't get the pressure, that was going to be a touchdown. He had a guy wide open in the end zone. That was a golden opportunity, but the defense comes up big.
Let's it fly. Touchdown, Clemson. Fired in from the red zone for the score. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5? The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Spirited matchup with ramifications inside CUSA today, guys. Here's how it finished up. Arkansas was anything but dominant today, but the Hogs are going to leave Razorback Stadium winners. A lot to work on, no question, but they avoid one in the Elkhorn. A busy day in CUSA, and an outcome that figures to shuffle the deck there as we send it back to you.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it.
Well, tip your hat to the defense getting that incompletion, because that hasn't happened often for this guy. He completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. Can the defense continue to mix things up, see if they can maybe confuse this QB?
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. unloads to the wideout. Can't meet the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute those.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. They'll move the wide receiver. Touch pass on the jet sweep. Hard running there. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
They've got some work to do on this third and long from the 40. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Finds a man on the left. He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, third down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win, and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They're dealing with a second and long. Back to pass. He wants to go deep. Snags it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Clemson.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. They didn't get much. Last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Wide receiver going in motion. Scanning the field is Hatchett. Got his man on the right. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Well, that bubble screen was an absolute debacle, and I put that on the ball carrier, right? You've got to know when the play is dead. As soon as he caught it, it didn't look like there was anywhere to go. You just got to go down. Just accept the defense is won, but he reverses field. He's just trying to make too much happen, and instead of what could have been
Turning it on. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
Got enough for the first down. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it. Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking to throw on first down. Slings it. Incomplete, and he threw that one up. And into traffic and fortunate to get it back.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Great job by the defense, seeing it right away, reacting to the screen, going and getting the football, and getting the fast playmaker on the ground.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got his man to the left. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best play.
Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown, Tigers. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
They do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half where you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
It was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
The offense changing the play. Second down, he'll throw it. Lofts one high and deep. Catch inside the 30 and still running. And that tackle almost certainly saved a touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain. What a dynamic play on that last one. Flips the field, and they've got it 1st and 10 from the 28. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now, listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Looking to fire. Quickly out to the tight end. All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. This Clemson offense moving quickly down the field.
First down for the offense.
They're going to run it. Headed to the end zone. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
He's looking to throw. Touchdown, Tigers. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board. This dude is putting on a show, taking up residence in the end zone by the air and by the ground, in keeping with what Clemson looks for in a quarterback.
Man, this is unbelievable. I mean, you've seen so many great guys run through, and Clemson majors in quarterbacks that can throw, can run, and really be dynamic. And this guy is having himself a day.
So here comes the Auburn offense. They haven't had a whole lot of production, nor much to show for it on the scoreboard so far. And if they're going to get back in this game, it needs to start right now. The give to the back. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
You want to stop the run game? Get the big defensive tackles in the middle, getting penetration. Those big boys eating up blocks, taking away gaps and holes for those running backs to run through.
Using his power and his sweet feet to get in the backfield quickly.
And you know you're athletic when you're described with power and sweet feet. I mean, just put those two things together and you're just pretty amazing.
It'll be 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Hatchett. Throws to the wideout. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down. Auburn sends out the punting unit.
In the last couple of weeks, man, you're getting a lot of consistency from this QB. And you got to love it as a play caller, man. You can drop him back. You can throw the ball a ton. You can trust him. Getting the ball to different wide receivers. He's really in a good groove the last couple games.
That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. The lone back's got it. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. Complete downfield. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
Well, obviously, at this point in the first half, the defense is finding themselves in a hole. And you just get the feeling if they're going to get back in this, they're going to need more plays like that. They're going to need sacks. They're going to need turnovers. They're going to have to create negative plays to get themselves some momentum.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Scrambling away. On target to the left. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Quickly complete. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it 1st and goal. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offense has been running up and down the field, and here they are, 1st and goal, a chance to tack on another one before halftime. Touchdown, Tigers! And they
score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finish the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
Offense threatening at the 45-yard line on 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Hatchett. Bring in the heat. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. They'll immediately call timeout. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. To the air on 2nd down. Right on the money. No chance to run, but they still move it forward. Auburn lines up quickly. Got to get everyone set. They spike it to stop the clock.
No gain on the play.
And here comes the punt team.
Number 15 in punt formation to kick it away.
And the punt will go into the end zone, and the ball comes out to the 20 on the touchback. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. First play of the drive, wants to throw. That's reeled in. It's Gandy. He is not afraid to use that stiff arm as a weapon as he bangs his way to the 28. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. He lobs one high down the left side. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
This is going to be a tough situation for the offense here. Late in the first half, they're trying to find a way to generate some points before going into the locker room, but the defense is ready for it. So the windows are not going to be very big, especially when you're trying to attack vertically like they did on that last one.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there in Death Valley.
Clemson will kick this deep to get the second half underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Huge deficit to start this third quarter. They just need to find something to build a little confidence.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well. When you're trailing by this much, this first drive, man, does everything matter and hinge on this? Because every possession in the second half is going to be critical.
Yeah, and I think if you're on offense, why hold back? What are you worried about? Nothing went well in the first half for you, and at this point, trailing by as much as you are, throw caution to the wind, be aggressive, and let's just see what happens.
From the gun, running back gets to give. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Dropping back, it's Hatchett. Here's the pressure. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense picks it up. Touchdown, Tiger. How about this defense taking one back to the house?
Man, defenses are always trying to force turnovers, to get the ball back to their offense, make those big plays. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you force the turnover, the pill hits the ground, you scoop it up, and you take it all the way back to the house. Huge play for this defense.
And he's going to bring this one out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. So here comes the Auburn offense. Quarterback stands alone, all wide receivers. They'll start this drive going to the air, using the quick game. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. From the gun, running back on the move. He has the first and still on his feet. At the 45, on his way. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the first down. The Tigers come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Wants to go up top on first down. He's got the back in the middle. Made a defender miss. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22. Here comes Auburn to the line on 1st and 10. Motion from the wideout. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
Well, defenses get excited when they see the quarterback in an empty backfield like that. They know, hey, I'm not going to have to beat a running back or a tight end to get there. If I get to him, I might have an opportunity to knock this thing loose, and that's exactly what happened for the defense.
One back in the backfield. He gets to carry. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
And that is just an attitude run, running it right up the middle, right into the teeth of that defense.
Just nosing into enemy territory at the 49. It's 1st and 10. They go to the ground. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
It's incomplete. Good job by the defense sticking with its coverage.
That's a good example of a good pass rush affecting the quarterback's rhythm. He wasn't able to just take his steps and throw with his feet underneath him on balance. He was forced to move, forced to escape the pocket, and right away everything fell apart with the accuracy and obviously not on the same page with his wideout.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Caught near the sticks. It's Gandy. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
Looking downfield on first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Gandy. And they make the tackle, but the official has tossed his flag.
Hold on.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Clemson set up with another first down. Wants to go up top. Unloads to the wideout. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Gonna look downfield again. Here's a hit. Can't find a man, and he'll be knocked down at the 40.
Sometimes you beat your guy and you get sacked so clean, and sometimes, like on this play, the DBs do a great job covering, make the QB hold the football, and then the rush gets home.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Wide open downfield. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
And a big reason why this team has the lead in this game is because of plays like that. They know they've got firepower throwing the ball. They've got the dudes outside that can make things happen. You saw it in the first half, and you see it here again early in the third quarter.
He makes the stop, but a nice pickup there on first down. Leads them in second and manageable.
It's now second and goal.
Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Clemson.
Each and every week, I think this coaching staff does such a good job of scheming ways to get this guy the football in the passing game, and defenses can't cover him. With that last catch, this now his 10th receiving touchdown on the season.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead.
Auburn, 13.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. After that last drive, he came back to the sideline, and the coach probably said, "You dropped it? You didn't pick it up? Come on, get on the ball, David."
No, that's not what he said. He said, "You're doing a great job. Just keep your head up." Oh, yeah, he got blasted. You got to hold on to the football, Palmer. Turnovers decide games. Those are big plays.
It's tough on him, too, because he knows he let his offense down on that last drive. So you know that guy's eager and anxious to come out here and make a play.
To throw, it's Hatchett. Right down the middle. It's caught. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. To the air on first down. Swings it out to the flat. There he goes. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, this offense is showing you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take a...
And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
Just like to see the quarterback have a clock going off in his head, forcing him to get rid of that football. Can't take a sack on first down in goal-to-go situation and move your offense backwards.
They'll run play action. And the defense gets loose, bringing the Heat, and down he goes again.
And that is back-to-back sacks. You get down here in this part of the field, man, you want to keep going forward. You want to make sure you put yourself in a good situation. Hopefully they go for it if you need to on fourth down. But now you're putting yourself really behind the 8 ball with back-to-back sacks.
Bounced off his feet.
Nice job by the defense there. They knew coming into this one, this running back was dangerous catching the football. So really good job getting him down on the ground, now setting up fourth and goal.
Good, right down the boulevard. Let's not say they cut into the deficit with that field goal. Maybe just, I don't know, tweaked a little bit of it away with their fingernail.
And 3 more on the board, and this kicker is starting to get a reputation starting off the season. Hasn't missed yet. Nice to have a guy that you can really, really depend on.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
All right, this offense needs to come up with a solution for this defensive end because he is a problem. They have got to find a way to help out the offensive tackle to prevent this guy from getting to the quarterback.
And the Tigers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back to pass. Got it in the middle. It's Gandy. And he's brought down, but the defender got a face full of stiff arm before he picked up that first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Wants to throw on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. So now it's 2nd and long. Power football with the run. A 6-yard pickup that leaves them with 3rd and 4.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
Making side adjustments here. Looking to throw on 3rd. He'll take a deep shot here. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down.
Well, it looked like the offense had a rhythm here early in the drive, getting a first down, but I don't know about that play call. Going deep on 3rd down, low percentage throw, it falls incomplete, and all that momentum that was established early in the drive, that's gone away now if you have to punt.
Boy, if they don't convert this 4th down, there will be questions to be answered. Needing to convert, Clemson comes to the line. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Grab near the marker is Gandy. And they make the tackle not before he gets the first down. Now let's see if they rush to the line or let the time run out here in the 3rd. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. The running back has it. Fights off a defender. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. The Tigers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Trying play action. Pocket breaking down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on 3rd and short from the 49. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They've got it inside the 40 and the 39 as they pick up the first down.
And if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. He rifles one deep down the right side. Touchdown, Clemson! He got a step and just dusted the field. That'll give him a little more breathing room as they try to push this winning streak to 5.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. David, they couldn't pay off that last drive with a touchdown.
Now, they moved the ball down the field and executed like they wanted to until they stalled out and had to settle for a field goal.
I think if you want to take the next step, too, here and score a touchdown, you got to start finding more creative ways to get your best players the ball. Let's see if they can do that here.
Gonna sling it on second down. Oh, he wants it all. Grabs it inside the 10. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be 1st and goal from there.
And, man, it has got to be so rewarding as an offensive coordinator when your play call perfectly counters the defense's call, and that's exactly what we saw there. That play targeted the coverage's biggest weak spot, and it led to a wide-open receiver.
And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
The defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
Going for 6. And it's incomplete. He was looking to the end zone and trying to get 6.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes. Bring the speed on the field and get ready to play the pass.
3rd and goal where you separate the wheat from the chaff. They want to throw it. Trying to set up the screen.
Man, and this is why coaches get paid the big bucks. You get the stop here. I'm down multiple possessions. Do I kick it now because it's a hard 4th down, or am I putting the foot on the pedal and staying aggressive to try to get a touchdown?
He splits the uprights. And the field goal was good. They get 3 on the board, but it really doesn't matter much in terms of the deficit. After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go.
Sets a kickoff.
On the run from inside his own 5. They bring him down, but not before a really good return. This offense in solid field position. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
The Tigers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass, it's Judovsky. Can't connect on his first throw.
Great job by the defense taking away the quarterback's primary target on that play and forcing the incompletion.
And the Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Pulls and fired complete. Oh, he's got some space. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the 1st down.
I tell you, I love the mentality by this offense right now. They've got a pretty big lead. They're still being aggressive, taking shots, and they're finding the matchups they like. Man, they're taking advantage right now.
Motion from the wide receiver. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. From the gun, wants to pass. Touchdown, Tigers. The offense puts up 6 with that trip to the end zone. They build this 4th quarter lead, and they are just minutes away from going 5-0.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me or I should get conservative. Because this offense obviously has had themselves a day. And apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring. And the defense better do something about it.
So here comes the Auburn offense. And to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse, they'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, David.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
The Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. The play action fake. Looking deep down the right side. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down.
Well, trailing this much in the fourth quarter, the offense is looking for an explosive play to try to ignite them and get them back in this one, but nothing doing. Nice job in coverage.
On third and long, no secret what he needs here. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. Touchdown Tigers! Stealing a score on special teams. Things a little more comfortable after that score and much, much closer to a win here in Week 5. That return man saw daylight the instant the ball touched his hands, and he darted to it and took it to the house.
And, Reese, I think it's one of the hardest things to do in football, to catch the ball as all these guys are flying around you, and you got to take it, make a miss, try to find spaces and creases that aren't there. Great job making a huge play. Special teams and punt returns coming up big.
Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Few things on offense as reliable as a tough power back as he plows his way ahead to the 33. The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Rush is on him. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28.
And when I got a stud quarterback like they do, I'm going to protect him. I'm going to make sure that I keep him upright because he can do some serious damage. But this defense applying pressure and applying the hammer in this football game.
Can't make the play on the interception, and man, they were looking for their first pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 4th down. Auburn sends out the punting unit. Man, these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. Makes a nice grab at the 25. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Breaks into the open. Touchdown, Tiger. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
19.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. Runs through the tackle. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to fire. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Fires one high and deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. They'll look to pin him deep. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Then that last drive, if you want to call it that, was efficient. One big run for a score, David. See if they can do it again.
Yeah, and I find it hard-pressed they're not going to give it right back to him. You break that long of a run, get a touchdown, Jesse, I'm assuming he's going to touch it again.
You're absolutely right, David. Everybody in this stadium, I think, is expecting him to get it again, too. Big-time players make big plays in big games. Let's see what he can do here.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll move the wide receiver. Off play action. Throws to the wideout. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
And that's why a lot of kids want to play for this coach, because they know that when they get into games, even if it's late, coach is going to let them go play ball, go have fun, take shots and try to come up with big plays. This offense right now, man, they're just having fun.
Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they have this game in hand right now, but we'll see just how aggressive they want to be on offense. Clemson will send the punt team out. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Fields the punt and tries to help improve that field position. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. So here comes the Auburn offense. Not a lot to feel great about in this one, Jesse, but I'm sure they'll try to seek out some positives.
Well, this might be an opportunity, too, Reese, to go back when they watch this game and just find the plays and the schemes that were working. There weren't a lot, obviously, David, but maybe an opportunity for the coaching staff to condense the playbook.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of good to go back to. That'd be a quick film session because there was more negatives than positives. But when you look at this week you've got a week to figure it out, figure out what your offense is going to be moving forward.
He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game, mark it at the 47. They'll line up right at the 48-yard line on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Lyle. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And that's what makes this defense so difficult to run against. They've got guys up front that just push offensive linemen backwards. They basically push the blockers right into the lap of that running back.
Off the play fake. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. And a sweet catch and a nice gain gets it down to the 30-yard line. Auburn ready to go back to work after getting another 1st down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fires toward the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing.
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Clemson has their paws on it. They'll send out the offense. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right, for an offensive coordinator. Getting ready to go into victory formation. So many good things happened today. It seemed like everything he was dialing today did.
Makes the catch on the left. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. Clemson jumps to the line. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Fires downfield. He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble but couldn't create anything there.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
And he's brought down after a nice game.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. To the air, it's Judovsky. Fires into the end zone. And it's incomplete as he was trying to finish the drive with a score.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
On third down, he drops to throw. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6. Nothing like stomping a guy in the teeth when you got him down. They'll try to tack on 3 more. And this one is perfect. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we looking pretty good.
Well, here in the fourth quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
And here we go. Final play of the game right here. Looking to throw on first down. A shot toward the end zone. And the pass will be incomplete. Looking for a little window dressing at the end, but the ball game is over. Just complete and utter